Absolutely. And if you don't agree and if you don't do it, they'll make life miserable for you. And incidentally, Luxembourg is one of the countries where transnational corporations keep their money that they make in profits outside the United States, that they don't have to immediately return that money to the United States. And the reason they do that is they keep it in a corporation, say, in the Turks and Caicos, and that corporation opens up an account in Luxembourg or the Cayman Islands or Switzerland, wherever. And these are corporations, mind you, American corporations. And the president wants to make these transnational corporations bring the money back to the United States and pay taxes on it. And under the circumstances, I think that's a pretty good idea. And 4 years ago, a sweetheart deal was made with the Bush administration and Congress. And the transnationals brought in $350 billion because he said they'd create jobs, which they did not. And they were taxed at 5.25% rather than 35%. Now, I don't know what the Obama plan is. I don't know whether they're going to. There was $350 billion that went back to the United States. This time, there's $700 billion. And I'm just wondering at what rate they're going to tax them bringing it back in. But that's going to affect Luxembourg because those accounts won't be there anymore if transnationals have to report and pay taxes on their earnings that they heretofore have been able to defer.
From my own personal file here, what do you feel how I would put this? How do you feel the commingling of the swine flu and the Wall Street is bringing forth this calamity around the world?
Well, first of all, it's my personal opinion that this flu that they have, H1B1 or whatever it's called, was manufactured by the United States government. And it was planted throughout different places in the world. And it's the same thing that they did when they had the so-called Spanish flu in 1918, which incidentally killed my grandfather and almost killed my father. And it was given to military people in Western Europe and in the United States, and they transmuted this disease to hundreds of thousands of people. I don't know how many people died, but lots did. And I didn't know that until recently when I read an article from that time in the Boston Globe. Somebody had posted it on the Internet. But anyway, that's what I think it was all about. Why? I think it was a limited duration for a reason. I noticed it, I think it's genetically specific, which means that it was more virulent and more deadly on people who were of Latin extraction. I think what they wanted to do is get people used to having this sort of thing happen, and I think they want to inoculate everybody. And of course, if they inoculate everybody, then Roche, which has the patents presently for Tamiflu, and Gilead, which sold it to them, and Donald Rumsfeld, who was a major shareholder, I think he still is, can make lots of money. And who knows what they're going to put in this vaccine that they're going to inoculate everybody with, if they'd like to. And if there's an emergency, they can force everybody to take this inoculation in America. So I think that's what they were doing. And I also think they wanted to practice different medical units at hospitals throughout the country, and also policing units, law enforcement, to go through the drill of what they would do if it was, a real major one. So there's a lot of things they wanted to accomplish with that, and that's what they did.
With these 7 countries in South America, Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Ecuador, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Venezuela reaching agreement last week on forming the Bank of the South, do you think that this Bank of the South is going to be controlled by the money barons that control the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank?
I don't know, but I don't think so. They set it up so that they would not be under the thumb of the IMF and the World Bank or anybody else, and it'll be funded by the different countries, and the Asians are doing the same thing, and it's to protect themselves against runs on any particular currency or economic problems in one particular country. And so I think the bank is a good idea, and I have from the very start, and I think that's the reasons why it's been put together, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, why should they be doing business in dollars? They should be doing business in whatever the monetary unit of South America is, whatever they want it to be. I mean, those are their countries, and they're not part of the United States or some world entity. So that's good.
With these 7 countries uniting, one of the things that really stood out in my eyes was the fact that they were all going to have equal voting shares, even though there was a big disparity in the amount of money that was being propped up in the $7 billion that they were going to put together. What is this bank going to do for South America?
Well, it's going to allow them to fund projects from country to country, and it's also going to allow them to protect a country if they have economic and financial problems. I think it's very important. I'm glad they did it.
We're going to have to take a break here, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be back. This is Drew Malone Reigns III, one each, a Marines Disquisition, heard live around the world on Wind Talkers Radio Network. Bear with us. We shall return in 2.5 to 3 minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is a Marines Disquisition, heard live around the world on Wind Talkers Radio Network and off the internet from Blog Talk Radio, also around the world, wherever you are, in every climate, in every place. Welcome to all my Marines. We are back, and hopefully with all of that, we were able to straighten out some of the disparity with the audio functions. I was getting some reports that Mr. Chapman was talking really loud, and my voice was way low. So hopefully we've got some catch-up there, and we are going to bring Mr. Chapman back up, and we are expecting any of you that would like to call in. Please call in to ask Mr. Chapman your questions. Area code 347-308-8047. For those of you overseas, the number is 001-347-308-8047. And with all of that said, welcome back, Mr. Chapman.
Yes.
Oh, we did have him. I'm getting a lot.
I have
of IMs up here. I can't even get to my questions. They're coming in so hot and heavy. The French economy minister has stated that the economy is bad during the first quarter. What is your perspective on what is happening in Europe, and how far is the financial market going to fall before the elitists start bailing out?